Rome wasn't destroyed by armies. It was poisoned from within. Behind the marble walls of the imperial palaces, a hidden war raged, not with swords or spears, but with subtle powders, deadly mushrooms, and carefully spiked wine. Some emperors were killed by their own families. Others survived only because their food tasters were vigilant. The fate of Rome itself often depended on a single bite. This was the story of Rome's deadly poison wars, a story of ambition, betrayal, and fear that shaped the empire. In Rome, power was fragile. Every banquet, every festival, every meeting carried a hidden risk. Ambition was sharp, and suspicion sharper. Poisons were well-known tools of the elite. Arsenic could be disguised in wine. Belladonna and hellebore caused illness that looked like natural disease. Even deadly mushrooms could be served at a feast, masked as delicacies. Romans had no chemical tests. They could only guess, distrust, and act on rumor. A courtier who angered the wrong person could be dead by morning, and the empire would call it disease. By the 1st century AD, poisoning became a part of Roman political life. It was a weapon for ambitious wives, scheming mothers, and desperate heirs. Banquets were battlefields. Wine goblets became instruments of fate. Most subtle courtiers survived. The careless or the unlucky died. The first high-profile victim of the poison culture was Germanicus, a general adored by both the army and the people. In AD 19, Germanicus was stationed in the eastern provinces. He was celebrated for his victories in Germania and admired as a model of Roman virtue. Suddenly, he fell gravely ill and died. Was it disease or was it murder? His wife, Agrippina the Elder, believed he had been poisoned. She accused the governor of Syria, Gnaeus Calpurnius Piso, and his wife, Munatia Plancina, of orchestrating the death. The trial was intense and politically charged. Plancina was first acquitted, but public outrage forced a retrial. Plancina killed herself to avoid judgment, and Piso, under suspicion and shame, also committed suicide. The death of Germanicus was a turning point. It demonstrated that poison could influence succession, political alliances, and even the fate of an empire. From this moment, Romans could no longer ignore the danger lurking in their own kitchens. Ambition now found its most dangerous practitioner in Agrippina the Younger. She was ruthless, calculating, and determined to secure power for her son, Nero. To achieve her goals, she married her uncle, Emperor Claudius, cementing her influence over the throne. Claudius, aging and politically vulnerable, trusted his wife, a decision that would cost him his life. Agrippina attempted her first murder using mushrooms at a banquet. Claudius fell ill but survived, leaving Agrippina frustrated. She turned to Locusta, Rome's most notorious poisoner. Locusta had a dark reputation. She had been jailed multiple times for prior murders, but was released under Agrippina's patronage. Now she had access to the emperor's food, wine, and even his bedchamber. Locusta's poisons were deadly. Belladonna, arsenic, and other toxins were blended with precise knowledge of Roman medicine and herbal lore. Some accounts suggest a poisoned feather was used, inserted into Claudius's throat to deliver the fatal dose. Claudius died swiftly. Nero, barely 17, became emperor. Agrippina had achieved what no army could: absolute control over Rome through poison and manipulation. Nero's rule began under the shadow of fear. Though crowned emperor, his position was far from secure. His stepbrother, Britannicus, had a stronger claim to the throne. Nero could not allow him to live. He again enlisted Locusta. According to Tacitus, Nero demanded the fastest-acting, deadliest poison available. The first attempt failed, and Nero reportedly punished